All right, and we are live with the first Partner Pulse episode at Clearbank. Episode 1, Value of Partnerships. My name is Tori Pachin, and I kind of head up the partner marketing here at Clearbank. I'm joined with 3 members of my partnerships team, and today we're just going to have a really informal conversation and jam about partnerships and hopefully answer any questions that founders and partners might have. So yeah, I'm going to pass it over for everyone to do quick intros. Passing over to Jenny.
Yeah, hi everyone. So my name is Jenny. I work with all of our inbound partners and help with onboarding. I also am working on some really cool new partner products that I can't speak about quite yet. So tune in to some later Partner Pulses. Little teaser for you guys.
Cool. And then really quickly, my name is Riley Finch. I run our venture capital partnerships globally here at Clearbank. So what that means and looks like for us is kind of maintaining a network of between 350 and 400 different venture capital firms with the goal of 2 things. One is helping venture-backed companies access revenue-based financing. And the second one, helping Clearbank companies unlock VC and take that step into the next part of their business journey as it pertains to their capital stack. We work with all different kinds of venture firms, investors, all the way from angels to pre-seed investors up to Series C, D growth equity firms, and are excited to chat about anything kind of equity fundraising as it pertains to Clearbank and revenue-based financing.
Good stuff.
Amazing. And my name is Daniel Roddick. I'm head of market development here at Clearbank. I mainly oversee partnerships with our banking partners, as well as looking at international for Clearbank. So I'm super excited for our chat today. And please, as you guys are watching, drop your questions in the chat, drop your likes and shares, and excited to chat with you guys.
Yeah, I'm excited too. This is the first time Partnerships team has actually been on a live stream on Clearbank's channel. So any questions you do have, please toss them. Like Dan said, we really want to be as helpful as we can today for our founders and for our partners. So really to kick it off, we're going to talk about what is the Clearbank Partnership Program. I know Dan really loves getting into the weeds with this one. So I'm going to toss it to you, Dan, to unpack this.
Yeah. So what is partnerships here at Clearbank? For those who are not up to speed on everything Clearbank does, we are the largest e-com investor in the world. We've deployed just over $1.6 billion in capital across now 4,000 merchants and counting. But Clearbank is a lot more than just capital. We really exist to help founders win. And that includes making sure they're introduced to all the different types of partners and companies that they could work with to be more successful, whether that means a new technology app to help them buy ads better and improve their return on ad spend, whether it's a venture investor that can help lead their next round, and everything in between. And so really we exist here to our founders to help them find the best partners to help them grow. And on the other side of it, we're here to also help our partners, whether they're existing or prospective ones who might be listening to this, navigate our portfolio and figure out where can I add the most value to companies? How can I find, new folks that I can bring my solution to that actually really solves a problem for them? And we just make that all super efficient through the data that we have. And so you can almost think of us, for those who are familiar with the venture capital world, as a platform team, but that's all driven by data. So we're able to match the best partners to the best companies to have the best kind of outcomes and solutions, because we have all the data to figure out who's the best fit for what.
Always such a beautiful explanation of what we do, Dan. I love how you just take that so cleanly. So yeah, thanks for that. I think what I love most really about Partnership Program is we help our partners and we help our founders. And what we're building here is, like a partner platform, put products that we can put in place to help not just our team grow, but also our partners and our founders as well. So Riley, I know you had some thoughts on this too. I'm wondering if you want to jump in.
100%. I think one of the really interesting things about, looking at Clearbank versus looking at, different kinds of investors and capital projects and ways you can fund your business, is understanding, beyond capital, right? Beyond just the dollars in the sense that you're going to get from an investor, what's the support? And I think for us, this kind of really became evident when we launched our first product, and it was mainly focused at funding marketing spend. The first question, obviously, if you're a founder, is great. Now I've got $100,000 to go spend on customer acquisition through paid social or whatever it is. Where's the best place to spend that next dollar? Where should I put this capital? And then as we go further and further into funding more and more kinds of businesses, whether it be SaaS-based companies, vertical SaaS, or funding inventory, or looking kind of new and novel ways to fund businesses, we're seeing more and more people looking for kind of air quotes like smart money, or right, like a strategic investor. The real reality of the funding ecosystem and venture and going and raising venture capital is that it is a great way to fund your business if you're a fit, if you're a venture backable or like a venture scale company, and then you get access to all of that help. If you're not, then you kind of get left in the dust in a lot of different ways. So there's a bunch of things we've tried to do to kind of bring up our abilities and capabilities in that. And one of them, which is really cool, is a new product we launched called Clear Angel, that you can go check out, where we're working with super early stage companies. But once you graduate into kind of regular Clearbanc, if you will, like where's the support then? And I think that's one of the really cool things that we want to highlight through Partner Pulse and through conversations with people and through our founder communities is, we are here for you, and we have the resources and the kind of ability to be that, that partner in your growth and help you get from maybe it's 10K a month to 50K a month, or 50 to 100, or 100 to $1 million, or maybe the goal is different. Maybe it's you want to really increase customer satisfaction. Well, we've got partners for that. Maybe it's, I really want to streamline my supply chain. We've got partners for that. I want to raise my next round. We've got partners for that as well. So like Dan mentioned, bringing sort of like a platform portfolio services team approach, like you would see in venture, to revenue-based financing through Clearbanc, and providing not only money, but support for founders. It's been super publicly said that Clearbanc's number one thing is how can we help founders win? Everyone defines that differently, but I think for us, the biggest thing is we've got to be able to help you win on every front, not just one. And if we're only giving you one piece of the puzzle, well, then that's not a complete picture. So we really need to round that out.
Yeah, I think, Riley, you touched on that really, really well. I think one of the coolest things that we also do that's another tool that we have is our recommendation tool. So one of our colleagues on the partnership team, Margot, is leading the charge on this. But basically, we have a recommendation tool that was built so we can provide our merchants and our customers with data-driven solutions so we can help them improve specific aspects of their business. So whether that's increase their ROAS across their Facebook ads, whether it's increasing the number of repeat customers they have that month. So we're using our data insights to make those data-driven recommendations for our merchants to our partners. How those merchants and how those partners get into that world is a different story, but I think that really shows and ties into what Riley was saying on how we're really providing value beyond just capital here at Clearbanc.
Dan, I know you spent some time in sort of like the agency world and in working on that side of things. I think one of the super interesting things that I've had conversations with founders about, and I'd love for you to kind of take a deeper dive on, is understanding, sometimes folks get intros to people and it's like, hey, yeah, I can introduce you to a marketing firm, or I can introduce you to a, whatever. But it's not always the right fit. And I think that a huge thing is, being able to get trusted advice from someone. It's hard to give trusted advice that works at scale. And we're trying to crack that nut, if you wanted to maybe chat with that a bit.
Yeah, so I think what's really interesting is I've lived my whole life off of trying to make connections with different people in different companies, and it's, you have to really be thoughtful about who's the right fit for whom. And so it's really a matchmaking game just of businesses, opposed to people, and what we have that makes it unique when we make these matches is the data we use to even underwrite companies. And so, today when we fund a business at Clearbanc, it's all done through data and machine learning. You come in, you connect your accounts, and then we use that to generate an offer for you within 20 minutes. But at the same time, we then have perspective as to what is your revenue growth? What is your customer acquisition cost? What industry are you in? And in the case of agencies, how do we make sure we're matching you to an agency that services a lot of companies with your budget and your type of spend? So if you're just starting out on Facebook and you've never run a Facebook ad before and you're just trying to scale, maybe you're moving out from in-house and are trying to grow, this can be very different than you run a multi-channel marketing division where you run ads on Facebook and YouTube. Maybe you're testing offline, maybe you're testing TV. The agency or agencies that will support you at that scale will be completely different, and they probably actually wouldn't do a very good job at supporting an earlier stage company. So a lot of the data that we use is related to what we use on underwriting, and just using that instead to figure out who's the best fit for you as a company. And so it really just lets us automate and do at scale what humans have tried to do one-to-one for years and years, just make meaningful connections and introductions.
Yeah. Oh, Tori, looks like you're on mute.
In traditional Zoom style, of course.
Yeah, my audio skills, guys. No, I was going to say that's really it, the power of partnerships, right? Like building relationships as much as you can and figuring out, working with our partners and our founders to find out what they need from us as the partnerships team. I think I would love to talk about the Indiegogo partnership that we have, because I think it's a really great example of how we're able to work with a company and figure out a way to add value to founders who might not necessarily meet our criteria yet for funding. And Riley, you recently spoke about ClearAngel, which is an incredible product we just announced. And hopefully we can toss a link to ClearAngel in the comments here. But also with Indiegogo, so early stage entrepreneurs who want to start a crowdfunding campaign, but not necessarily on our criteria yet for Clearbank funding criteria, they can crowdfund on Indiegogo. And once they reach a certain threshold, they can bring forward capital to put towards their campaign, continue marketing that campaign, and essentially additional exposure for their brand. And that's something Josh on our team, he's not in this live stream right now, obviously, but Josh, he really owns that partnership and brought it home. So wanting to give some love to that. But yeah, I love the Indiegogo partnership. I think it's a great example of how we're able to really create more opportunities for founders within the partner program.
And I think what's so cool about it as well is, we're not just looking at our core competency, right? Which is companies that are, D2C, e-commerce or SaaS between a certain revenue threshold. Once we put things like ClearAngel or Indiegogo in the mix, we can stretch down as far as, pre-revenue, you haven't launched anything. And then as far up as our, classic growth capital model goes, which is, $10 million a month. So running a huge gamut. Getting back to helping founders win, it's having a product for every founder, it's having a solution, and it's being that partner, being more than just that capital and like what's behind that, right?
Yeah, I love it.
One thing I'm curious about is with you, Riley, on the VC side, like how have you helped our VC partners navigate our portfolio and vice versa? We're here obviously with our own capital source, but we've done a lot of work to also help our companies find equity partners as well.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I think one of the things that's super interesting about, looking at the companies we work with and the way they work and the way they fund their businesses is understanding how everyone has their own capital stack, right? And something we talk about a lot where, you might have a term loan, you might have a revolving line of credit, you might have venture debt, you might have Clearbank, you might have just like maybe a mortgage. There's all kinds of different pieces of financial instruments you can use to fund your business. What's the right one at the right time? Where? Who's the right person? These are all questions that everyone's got to go through and ask themselves and plan for. And it's not an easy thing to do, especially on your own. On the firm side, I think what's really cool is since we're seeing all these companies that are all at different stages and all kind of in different places as it pertains to the life cycle of the company. What that means is, we see really, really cool deals, if you will. We see great companies coming through before they've gotten to a place where they're ready to maybe make that step into venture. So, they're coming to us before, they're really even launching super publicly, which is amazing and it's super cool. And what's great for us is that we get to be part of that growth story and help at the end of the day affect lives of the people that company helps. But what's also great is, since we're getting information on these companies, we can get to understand them, we can grow with them, and we can build that relationship. When we're working with our VC community saying, hey, I'm looking for this kind of company or this kind of deal, we can do a way better job making intros and surfacing intros and building those new relationships than a lot of other people can because of the history we have with that company. So, just for example, to speak to, a company whose name will remain anonymous, came to us, when they were doing around $25,000 a month, scaled to $500,000 a month, somewhere in that neighborhood. And we'd worked with them along that whole way. We were fortunate enough to be able to make a bunch of intros to investors that we really trust and actually believe that would be a good fit for the company. Not just someone who can give them money, but someone who's passionate about what they're doing and is going to continue to help them execute on their dream. That firm led $1 million Series A into the company, and that company is continuing to grow and doing extremely well. I truly believe that the reason things like that stick and work really well is because it's more than an intro, right? It's more than just a templated email or like a, hey, Dan, meet Jenny. It's look, I understand your business. And then on the VC side, I understand what you're looking for and thematically what you're interested in. let's marry those two together and then pull from our book of, around 4,000 companies we funded, the ones that are interested in raising, where are the fits there?
Yeah. I want to touch a little bit on this because I think Riley was speaking to the power of our ecosystem, and we have plenty of case studies that speak to this as well. We have a children's clothing company that's whole mission is to empower young females called Piccolina. They actually just made the list of Fast Company's most innovative style companies, which I thought was really cool. That was just today. And the reason that they chose Clearbanc is they related to our mission on democratizing capital and enabling entrepreneurs to scale. And they decided to work with us because of that opportunity to grow their network through our partner ecosystem. And it allowed them to secure their greatest return on their capital. And by doing this and being part of the Clearbanc world, they actually grew 3 times. They increased their ROAS 6 to 1, and they had a 100% increase in their sales month over month. So this just speaks to exactly what Riley said, that we have a really large network. That's a major component of what Clearbanc is really all about. And what I also find is really neat recently is that we have partners that have joined our partner program that we're now funding with Clearbanc Capital. And we've created this giant wheel of just an ecosystem that's keeping on growing. I mean, I think EasyShip is a really good example of this. Let's see if I can remember the exact fact. Does anybody have it?
Yeah, 30% of EasyShip's growth is directly attributed to taking Clearbanc Capital after they took capital from us. And yeah, it's awesome to see EasyShip was a partner, and now they're a customer, so we get to work with them from both sides. Packlane is another good example too. Packlane, partner and customer, they used Clearbanc Capital to see a return on ad spend. That was already impressive, but they were able to invest more in Google ads and Facebook ads and keep on increasing that ROAS. So,
and companies that I think Michelle Romano put out a post on her Instagram that companies that come to Clearbanc actually grow 2 times faster than companies that come to us and don't take our capital. So some really huge opportunity here with our capital, with our resources, and with our network that we're creating here on the partnerships team.
Yeah.
One thing that might be interesting to jump into a little bit here, and Dan, Tori, Jenny, curious to get your thoughts on this. When we're looking at kind of curating these relationships and trying to figure out what makes the most sense to kind of bring to our community and open up to see how we can help people win in the best ways possible and continue to broaden this ecosystem that's already kind of becoming so powerful, what are the criteria and what are the qualities in brands that are coming in looking to kind of empower up and coming e-commerce founders?
Good question.
I think from a partnership, like partners that I've been most excited about most recently are anything to do with helping diversify your ad channels and advertising spend. I think we're hearing lots of noise and conversation around what's happening with, I think Google is now going to sunset cookies. iOS 14 has changed what you can do through the Apple App Store. So I think there's just a whole litany of partners, whether it's either looking at alternative channels like TV. I think in the past I've talked about what like NBC Universal is doing. They have a whole team built now to focus on direct to consumer brands. So I think that's really exciting. And then there's a lot of stuff around internationalization. Jenny and I have spent some time talking to the folks at Passport. They've really tried to solve the problem of like, I need to go sell in the UK. There's lots of complications with doing that, and they've built the technology to handle that. So those are some of the things. It's really around like logistics and then top of funnel is what I'm most excited about.
I think one thing you kind of mentioned there tangentially is, our needs are always evolving because the needs of our founders are always evolving. And what's super cool is, seeing companies kind of come down the pipe that we funded and we're working with them, and they say, hey, Dan, this is great. Notice you have a great partner ecosystem. Do you have a partner that can do X? And we say no, and it's actually founder-led expansion of the program. So I think one of the cool things is it's in some points it's us going and reaching out to brands or firms or organizations that we think are really cool that could be a great fit for Clearbanc and the partner ecosystem. But then on the other side, it's actually, just as simple as seeing, okay, well, here's someone we can help. Well, let's not just help them, but let's bring this to our entire pool of founders, which just happens to be the largest pool of e-commerce companies in one place, probably in the world right now, which is wild, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea of like anticipating the play. Like I always love knowing what new trends that we can are coming up. And we actually, Clearbank just posted 2021 e-commerce trends report with some of our partners. So hopefully we can get the link dropped in the comments for that. But really good information there, and like some of the trends that we're seeing. Obviously SMS and email marketing has skyrocketed, but we've also seen now like live shopping, and all of the platforms that you can advertise on are creating ways to live shop, like mobile shop, live in the moment, not have to leave your phone before making a purchase. Like that I think is trending huge for 2021. And then obviously like mine and Dan's favorite conversation is buy now, pay later. We could talk about it all day, but we've got some great partners for buy now, pay later. And we've seen for customers who have integrated buy now, pay later into their programming have seen huge increases in their AOV or return on ad spend, and also customer conversion. Like just being ahead of the play and knowing which partners to bring into our ecosystem to introduce to customers at the right time is just like such a fun part of, I guess, our job and everything we do. But yeah, hopefully we'll get that trends report dropped in the comments, because really good to look at and see, what's coming up this year for D2C founders and what they should have on their radar. And if there's any questions, we've got the partners to help you out, and we can connect you with the right person.
Yeah, and tying into what everyone was just saying here, we're constantly keeping up with the needs of our clients, and we'll get messages all the time saying, hey, does anybody do this? And we may not at the time, but we go out and search for it. I mean, we're really just we're taking in a lot of new partners that are interested in being part of the partner program. So I believe in the chat you should be able to see how to sign up if you're keen. The beauty of it is, like so many other partner programs, the more involved you get with us here on the partnerships team, the more benefits that get unlocked. So really, at the end of the day, we're really trying to drive value to our clients with relevant and vetted partner recommendations, like I spoke about with the partner recommendation tool, and then also value adds like social media posts, blog sharing, even this partner poll. So really the further episodes that we're doing, we're going to be bringing on partners and having great conversations with them on how we can drive more value to our network.
I'm going to try this. We have a question in the chat that I think is relevant for you, Riley, and maybe you can talk through. It's a question from Priyank. So you can see it here on the screen. Is there a place to have entrepreneurs present their work and share it with the VCs? And so in some way, shape, or form, that's kind of what we've built here at Clearbanc. And maybe you can talk through a little bit more on Priyank's question of how do you match our founders to VCs?
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. And maybe to break this question up, down and sideways in a way to kind of look at it from a few different angles. Okay, is there a platform specifically created for entrepreneurs to present their work and share it with VCs, like LinkedIn, but more like connecting business with VCs? One of the things to think about is, when you're getting an intro to someone who you want to build a relationship with, how do you want that relationship to look? And how do you want that relationship to feel? And is a marketplace style maybe the right way to be able to convey all the value that you have in a business or as a founder to a potential investor, or what happens there? So what we've tried to do, and the way we've tried to think about this is understanding that people are going to be more responsive and more engaged with introductions that matter and stick, and that are almost curated in a way. For example, if you asked me for a recommendation for someone to build a deck in your backyard, and I said, hey, Priyank, I know my brother, he's a deck builder, he does a really good job, here's some work he's done, you should use him. There's a good chance you're going to trust that, and you're going to go a little bit further into looking into it than just kind of checking out the website and whatever. One of the things we've run into with just blindly kind of matchmaking companies with VCs is that it doesn't mean a lot for the VC. They want to know that this is a considered introduction, which is why what we've done is tried to automate part of it, but not all of it. So automating the kinds of companies that we're surfacing to VCs, and automating sort of like the process where we're able to pull companies and find good companies that are good fits for certain investors, but not automating the actual human part, which is making that connection and actually helping that connection happen. I do know there are platforms, stuff like NFX, where you can go on and you kind of browse through investors and send decks. And I mean, you're always welcome as well to, cold email folks and cold call. And I know that works great for a lot of folks. And it's definitely something that's part of the job. But broadly speaking, I just generally don't think that there's more value in an open marketplace than there might be in sort of like a closed matchmaking system where we can retain trust and credibility when we're making those intros.
Very cool.
Cool.
All right. Well, I mean, we've been chatting for 25 minutes. We could talk all day long, but it might be good maybe to just end it off with some more fun questions. So the title of this episode was The Value of Partnerships. I really want to nail down that partnerships isn't just like the partnerships team. We partner internally with across all different pods at our company. We partner together as part of a team with our founders, partners, etc. And I think it's really interesting to talk about like why we love what we do so much. Like why are we in partnerships? Why do we love it so much? What difference are we making? So I'm just gonna put that question out there, guys. Like, what do you love about what you do every day?
Ooh, I'll go first. I love that I get to meet and chat with people from all over the world who love what they do, who are also helping their e-commerce and SaaS clients succeed. I'm also able, with these early conversations with new partners, to learn about up and coming technologies that we spoke a little bit about, agencies and what they're doing, and then the strategies that some of these companies are using for their e-commerce merchants. And I also love that I'm contributing to helping build our partner network and in turn helping our clients grow. And ultimately our partner success and our founder success is what we're driving home. And if we can continue that, and if anyone wants to be a part of it, please check out the website that I think is linked here on the bottom here.
We have much love from Jerome in the chat for you, Jenny.
Ah, Jerome, my guy, partner.
Jenny's the best. We love Jenny.
Awesome. Maybe quickly as well, and I know I've talked a lot, and I'm getting thirsty. I need to take a drink of water because I haven't shut up. But I think one of the best parts about beyond even working on partnerships, but working at Clearbank is getting to chat, like Jenny mentioned, with great founders, hear their story, and hear what gets them fired up. And even if it makes their life 1% easier, 1% faster, 1% better, or makes them 1% happier, then we've done our job, and it's a great way to spend your day.
Yeah, I think on my end, for me, and it's really why I joined Clearbank. In my spare time, I love helping my friends who run companies figure out how they can become more successful and they can achieve their hopes and dreams. So the fact that my day-to-day, my full-time job is to just do that, I think is amazing. So as long as I can be helpful to a founder in some way, shape, or form, that's made my life a lot better.
Amazing. Answers. Oh yeah. I mean, I love marketing, eat, breathe, love marketing. I think that's my favorite part is working with partners to find new ways to drive adoption and reach more founders. I love getting creative too. And I really get to be creative in this role. And I've met some amazing marketers at our partner companies who puts up with my crazy ideas, and then we put them into fruition and we see great results from them. So hopefully more to come. But yeah, that's really the value of partnerships. This is our first Partner Pulse episode. I'm really happy for anyone who tuned in. Thank you so much. All the links are in the comments. They'll stay there on the page. Our live stream will live on the page. You can continue to watch it over and over again if you want, or share it with friends and family. So yeah, that's all from us. I think anyone else have any last words?
Look forward to the next one.
Yeah, if you're a partner, excited to meet you and potentially work with you, and you're a founder and you have any questions about it, feel free to reach out to any one of us and we'll point you in the right direction.
Awesome.
Amazing. All right, awesome. We have a 10-second lag to go off live. So thank you so much, everyone.